Okay, it's going now.
Just
I
go
don't
for
think
it.
I can't think of anything funny. I'm just gonna start. All
That's
right,
gonna
ready?
be the clip. Go for it.
Okay. Welcome everybody back to Color Break, your third favorite comic book podcast. As always, I am your host Cody Collects, and I'm here with the mustachioed one. We've got Christian.
How's it going, guys? I'm alive.
This is episode 30. Got a super special episode for you guys because we've got two guests. Not one guest like usual. We got two. First up, you guys might know they're both TikTokers. You guys have seen them. But we got the Cosmic Collector. How you doing, dude?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right, man. I like to look at everybody's background to see what they got going on. Wow, you got a lot of statues, a lot of comics.
Yeah.
I think I like this guy.
New 52 and Rebirth are my obsession right now. So
Yeah, dude, definitely check out Cosmic Collector's reading guides, his reading orders. They've been pretty helpful. But we're also here, joined by SpeedSultan. How you doing, dude?
Good, doing good. How about you?
Doing all right, man. I loving the neon sign. That's cool.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
a good lightning bolt. I always appreciate them.
Yeah, I need
It's
a,
on
I need a
brand. It's
neon
on
sign.
brand.
Yeah, that's cool. So listen, guys, we got a packed episode for you. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be DC heavy. All right, we hate Marvel on this podcast. This is a DC only podcast. Nah, so we always like to when we have a guest. I just want to know how you guys got into comics. To be honest with you, your comic book origin. So let's hear it, dude. Cosmic Collector. How'd you get in all this nerd stuff?
Funny enough, Marvel.
Nice.
It started with like Deadpool was probably my like introduction. Just picked up
Okay.
like a random volume and I liked it, and then I kind of started reading Marvel, but it was like not really like clicking. So I started on Batman, and then I was like hooked, and I've just been reading like everything DC since. But yeah,
I think it's
Yeah,
like
dude.
such a 15-year-old boy to start with Deadpool.
yeah,
because I
it
did the
was
same
exactly.
thing.
I was like 13, but it was the same. Yeah, same thing. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
he's funny. He just kills people. Like just read
This
Deadpool.
is my type of guy.
Well, I'm trying to think too, because when was like the Deadpool movie? Deadpool 1. That's probably like
2016,
around that time, maybe.
2017.
No, I must have been way before. Let me
Oh
see.
yeah, it was way before.
I'm
Okay,
the
gotcha.
fact checker.
I'm gonna guess 2014.
I think it was 20.
That's a good guess, dude.
26.
I'm locking
No,
that in.
yeah, 2016. We were assholes
Oh.
for correcting them.
Damn.
I know.
2016.
It's my favorite movie
So
of all
what?
time.
Oh, nice. That's right on. Yeah. So well, I guess like even before that, dude. Like, were you into superheroes as a kid, bro? You watching like Justice League or something?
Oh, yeah, of course. The reason I wanted to
Nice.
pick up the comics was I was so into like the animated shows. You know, the Spider-Man series, the '90s one I liked a lot. Like the Batman animated series, Justice League Unlimited, and like Static Shock, like two of my big ones. And then Teen Titans was like my favorite animated show of all time. So those really got me into
Yep.
the characters. And then I picked up a comic book, and I was like, this is going to be my personality for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Nah, I feel that, dude. SpeedSultan, I'll throw it to you, man. What is your origin? I imagine it's a little bit similar because it sounds like we all have kind of the same.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, for as long as I remember, I was always into at least like superheroes and stuff like
Yep.
that. When I was super young, I was always into Batman and Power Rangers. And I would always combine, my mom would always tell me, at least I don't remember this, but I would combine my like Batman and Power Rangers costumes, and I would be the Bat Ranger. So that those are some real origins right there. But
Shit,
then
you should coin that.
when I first started
That's a
kind
good
of getting
idea,
into
yeah.
comics, yeah, seriously. When I first started getting into comics, though, it was I don't know, elementary school kinda, and I was really into Hulk. I don't even know which specific comics or anything like that, but my parents would get me Hulk comics and just a bunch of Hulk things, and I just was obsessed with Hulk. Um, but then when I really, really started diving into reading comics and like knowing what I'm reading and stuff was during DC's Rebirth event and stuff like in 2016. And that's when I really started diving into the Flash because that's also around when the show was starting and stuff like that.
Right.
And so um I really dived into Joshua Williamson's Flash Rebirth run, and it was coming out, just reading it on my phone and other Rebirth runs, and that's what really got me into it. And then I started collecting them more like a year and a half ago to actually start physically collecting everything.
I'm in that same boat. Did y'all have like a big gap where y'all just like stopped for a while?
I mean,
So it's I'll throw it to Christian too, but it's interesting hearing Speed's like story or whatever, because we're pretty new comic readers as well, Speed. So yeah, I don't know if that's similar to Cozmik. It sounds like you've been collecting for a long time, but I know like at least physically, I've only been collecting for less than 2 years probably at this point.
Same for me.
Yeah.
About 2 years.
I know that for
Wow.
me, like my mom got me the first 11 issues of The Walking Dead in Spanish, and this is like 2013. I read them all and I enjoyed them, but like after that I was like, okay, that's not for me. I'm not a nerd. And I was sort of forced into comics, and I haven't looked back. But yeah, 2020, end of 2021 is when I bought my first like comic myself.
I think it was that adult money that did it. I was like, I like comics,
Oh,
but I didn't
yeah.
have the money. And then as soon as I got a job, I was like, yep, I'm spending all my money
Yeah.
on this.
That's exactly
Yep.
what happened.
No, that's very pretty common what happened to me as well. Because like in college, I tried to, but it was just really hard. I had like Comixology Unlimited, just trying to read a trade here and there. But yeah, it was really when you get that first adult paycheck
Mhm.
and your eyes go, ooh, and then you just
Yep.
go to the comic store, yep, and then you
It's
just,
hard to fit a whole bunch of comics in a dorm room too. So you kind of got to stick to online. Yeah, that's exactly
That's
how I
true.
was Comixology.
Absolutely, yeah,
It's annoying for me right now because we're like renting, so I can't like put like shelves on the wall, and I'm just like I'm running out of space because I'm
Feel
just
yeah.
You gotta get
I
that
can't fit
plaster.
another
You can put the holes in the wall and then just plaster them up. They'll never know.
I cannot like fit like I have 4 boxes in my closet. I have a whole shelf back here. And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, oh my god, I have comics in my office, like on my desk in my office. I have like at least 80 single issues that I'm just like,
Well, dude, I was gonna. That's a great question because so Cozmik, I got it, dude. What setup you got, man? Is this like a spare bedroom? Because this is wall to wall comics. It
is
seems like
the
from your
main
videos, dude.
bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah, so initially we had this was our bedroom, and then this room back here with the Avengers poster. This was like my collection room when I first started, and then we had our living room, and then it started getting bigger. And my girlfriend that likes to change things a lot. And she was like, "Oh, I don't mind moving the bedroom in the back there. It's whatever." And I was like, "Okay." So I went back there, and this became like the comic room. And so it's actually starting to leak out into the living room now. Like there's posters now in the living room, and she's like, "This is not happening. It stays in the room." And I was like, "Okay."
I feel that.
well, that's why you get like really nice prints that at least like look fancy, and it's like no,
Right,
it's-
they're like nerdy
That's
still,
what I have.
but
I have the
like
Year of the Villain ones in the living room.
nice.
that's
Thanks.
definitely not Tatooine. That's just a planet. I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
just a space.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
art,
a
dude.
picture.
I was like, "Can I please
so
put my
I-
popcorn buckets on the top of the like cabinets?" No, I'm like, "But they can't go anywhere else."
Nah, dude, if that's one thing I know, man, is the girlfriends don't like the collector's cups. They don't like the popcorn buckets, bro.
Yeah.
None of that stuff gets seen, man. That all stays in the closet around here. But
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, listen, impressive collection, Cosmic, for only collecting like in the last, you said like less than 2 years or whatever. That's crazy to like fill like a whole room, dude. It's looking good.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
So I guess a question I got for a question I got for Speed, right? Do you still rock with the Hulk like you did back in the day, dude?
I mean, definitely not as much as I did. I mean, I was putting stickers, posters all over my walls, windows. The stickers didn't come off till we moved out of that house because they wouldn't come off. But nowadays, I mean, I a lot of Hulk comics that I've read, at least like in the past, are still some of my favorites, like Greg Pak's Planet Hulk. I love that. That's always going to be one of my favorites. But as of recent, like we've established, I've really been more of a DC guy, and so Hulk's just kind of been in the back seat. But this recent run, I've really been enjoying, so he's
the
starting to
latest
come
one
back
is
a little.
really nice.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
I know Cody just bought it as well. For me, the Immortal Hulk run, the Omni just came out.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
just
know.
started that as well
It's
fairly recently.
insane. I just finished. I think it took me like 2 days to read the whole book. I was like, I couldn't stop. And then the new run sort of feels like it's like following that story a little bit, but just how like it's like even scary at times.
Yeah,
You
it's like
see him
horror based,
transform.
isn't it?
It's not
Pretty
nice when
much.
he transforms. Like I
Yeah,
feel
no.
bad for the guy.
Yeah, I guess like maturing or whatever is like realizing that the Hulk's a little more. It's a little more complex than just Hulk smash. You
Well,
know
I
what I
know,
mean?
Yeah.
and
For sure.
they're going to like
Yeah.
the body horror of it
Yeah.
all. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, he turned green. No, they're just seeing
I mean,
bones break and shit.
aside from the movies and
Oh,
like the
geez.
animated shows, one of my first like introductions into the Hulk was the Ultimate Universe. So like,
Oh.
yeah, which is definitely not like your normal like Hulk smash type of Hulk.
Mhm.
He's he's a menace.
Yeah, it
in
was
that
more of like a
one, I will
Hulk
say.
Hulk eat human type of Hulk.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Ultimate Universe is crazy.
It
Some of the changes are bananas, dude. Um, so backing up though, so Cosmic, a question I wanted to ask you, dude. So you mentioned that that like when you started reading comics, like maybe Marvel wasn't really clicking. I guess I don't know. Do you know like do you have an idea of like why you think it wasn't clicking? Maybe just because you are more familiar with DC from like when you were younger or something.
I think that's a big point. Like part of what it was, like the animated stuff, it was mostly DC that I was watching, and like all the shows. And until the MCU came out, like I wasn't huge into Marvel. You know, it was mostly just Batman, Superman, Flash, stuff like that. And after I actually started reading comics, I like can explain it a little bit better. Like the tone of DC is just a little bit different. Like the universe
Yeah.
they've built is just easier to like. It's more engaging for me, I guess. And just the characters in general. But I will pick up a Marvel book every now and then. Daredevil, Spider-Man, just the occasional. But
Yeah, no, Cody did. Cody just got rid of all of them.
Yeah, at the start of the year, dude, I said, you know what? I'm not pulling any more Marvel. I'm tired of it, dude. I'm sick of it. I don't really have like a super good reason. I feel like I don't know. I feel like actually, this is a good question for you guys to see if you agree. Do you think like the physical like paper quality from Marvel is like just not as good? You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like a crazy person when I try to describe it. Like you pick up like a Marvel comic and you pick up a DC, and it's like I can just like I feel better spending my money on the DC stuff physically because sometimes the Marvel it's like so thin, you know.
You know what?
I don't know.
I've always considered you a crazy person for it until today, actually, because I was reading Poison Ivy, the new one,
Yeah,
and my coworker I lent him Old Man Logan, like the trade paperback, and he was like, "Oh, what are you reading?" And I was like, "Look at the touch the paper. Come on, get
Yep,
close.
yep.
Come here. It's like so nice." I still wouldn't stop buying a book because of paper quality, but to each their own.
You know what the big reason is to let Cosmic and Speed know. It's like I felt maybe if I stopped buying Marvel, then I could put it more towards indie. So that's kind of what I've been doing, just leaning heavy into the indie stuff, and then I can catch all the Marvel like Marvel Unlimited, whatever. Maybe get it in a collected edition later on. But yeah, that's been my strategy. But sounds like I'm a crazy person, Christian. It sounds like
is there like an indie book that you just like love the most of all? Like if you could recommend like one indie book.
dude, what's funny is Image is putting out so much banger stuff right now. So it kind of depends. Like, I mean, Transformers just came out. You know what I'm saying? It depends what you're into. Like, if you're into cowboy stuff, that's like why I'm liking indies, right?
I was waiting for you to say Cowboys. You
Cowboy. I read a lot of cowboy indie stuff. I read a lot of horror. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun
you
reading.
you can
stuff.
summarize Cody into Cowboys, horror, aliens. That's it.
Yeah, cowboys,
There we go.
horror, and like sci-fi. But
I
yeah,
don't think I've
Dude,
ever read a
so-
cowboy story.
I mean,
oh, dude,
Just-
honestly, you want to? I would say like right now,
so good, dude.
The
Enfield
Enfield
Gang
Massacre.
Massacre.
if you want, I always say like Department of Truth is such an experience. Like,
Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny, Christian? I almost wouldn't recommend that one because it's like almost too weird. Maybe that's like your second indie book, but I wouldn't recommend Department of Truth to maybe a first time reader. It's kind of
I
weird.
mean, Saga is like the classic.
Ooh,
Like,
Saga's so good.
Saga's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saga's an easy one to recommend.
Same with Invincible, I feel
So-
like.
yeah, Paper
Yeah,
Girls
easily.
too. Paper Girls is easy.
Paper
first
Girls was
indie
so
comic.
confusing until it wasn't, and then it was like the best thing I've ever read.
It just clicks, right?
Yeah.
Like you turn that page and it just clicks.
And you're just like, this is amazing.
No, the thing about Department of Truth, which is it's super hard to read because it's not conventional. Like every single page is a piece of art on its own.
Yeah,
You
you have
could
to
you
use a
could
lot of brain power to.
you could rip up any page and put it up on your wall, and people would be like, "Oh, nice." It doesn't matter what it is; it's just beautiful. But at the same time, it's so confusing because it doesn't follow square like
Yeah,
comics
it's not
that
like
do.
your typical panel layout. Sometimes the page is doing like this sort of thing. You got to read it like that.
Mhm.
So it gets kind of wild. But it's a kind of a good question. So because I know that Cosmic, you collect a lot of mostly New 52. It sounds like with some Rebirth stuff, and you collect mostly trades, right? So good question for you guys is just like I don't know what kind of collected edition, like which formats you guys like the most. Sounds like Cosmic, you're mostly into trades. Would that be right?
Yeah, so for like single issues, I mostly get for like ongoing series or like the
Yeah.
art, like older comics. I go for like the art. But yeah, if I'm trying to read a story arc, I always read like trades, like main continuity. But if it's stuff out of continuity, I go for the omnis, like Invincible. I went for the Compendium, Saga, the Compendium, just because those are its own contained thing, and I can read the whole thing in like one span. Whereas trades, especially with DC, there's so many crossovers. It's nice to have just the individual trade. So if I need to read another one at the same time, I can just pick up that other trade, you know.
Yeah,
But
that
I
makes
go.
sense. So Speed, same question, dude. Like what kind of comic book formats are you liking the most nowadays?
I'm pretty similar to Cosmic in the sense that primarily trades and single issues, but more recently I've been getting more and more into single issues. It's quite the slippery slope,
I was
so
just gonna say,
I just
absolutely.
yeah,
Yep.
I started out, yeah, I was like, when I first started getting into single issues, I'm getting into like, all right, let me pick up one or two books like on a month or whatever, see, keep up with them, and now I don't know, it turns into 10 plus,
Freaking
15
six
plus every week.
six long boxes
But
full.
Oh,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
yesterday I got 5 single issues, and I felt accomplished. I was like, "Look at me,
That's
guys!"
that's a small week, dude. 5? That's crazy.
Yeah,
We
Yeah,
got nine
I was
yesterday.
very,
Yeah.
and
but
so
go ahead.
I
No, go.
definitely enjoy reading trades probably the most. Just given and collecting them, given that, like Cosmic said, you can get each individual storyline or arc or volume or whatever and bounce between the different tie-ins a lot easier. And on top of that, one of the main reasons I prefer trades or hardcovers like that over an omnibus is just you can still get more covers and stuff like that, more individual books to just like have in your collection or to show people, yeah, the covers and stuff. And a big thing for me is the bigger the book, the harder to read, in my opinion. Like with the eye and everything like that and stuff. So,
The,
Plus, omnis
and
tend to leave out issues sometimes too. Like they don't have
hmm
every issue, and that drives me crazy because I'm a completionist, so I have to have every issue in the story.
I feel you. And in that sense, that's why single issues are becoming more and more like appealing to
Mm-hmm.
me because then it's like you really don't miss anything.
Omnis for me became such a slippery slope. Like I bought one, and it was just like, I can't have just one. Like, come on.
Right. That
So
would look
okay,
weird.
Yeah.
I honestly probably would if you only had like one Omni.
and
Yeah, that's a good point.
then I was like, oh, I have two Marvel ones. This is not right. I love DC. Like I kind of have to like do
Yeah,
that now.
That's fair
And it's
enough.
just like it's like a back and forth of like, oh, I want to read this series, but I don't want to buy every trade. Like Immortal Hulk has like 10 trades. It's
hmm
insane. So
And
might as
and,
well.
and you might and like Christian saying, you might run into the problem where like I know Cosmic is running into it with some of the trades that are like out of print, so it's a trade, but it's like $50. A
hmm
lot of the times, if you're trying to do like the deluxe hardcovers for Immortal Hulk are like impossible to get if you're trying to complete the set. So sometimes it's easier to get the Omni that's like the size of my head. You know what I mean? But
That's definitely
yeah,
and some of
true.
them
I mean,
don't
yeah,
have omnis.
Omnis
Yeah,
it's true.
also true. You know, Omnis and compendiums and that sort of stuff is definitely the best value and bang for your buck and all that for sure. I just tend to like having
Oh,
more,
if
I
I,
guess.
if it
Yeah,
was up to
no, for
me, I
sure.
would buy every single issue, like no question. Especially
Mhm.
like talking about Immortal Hulk, all the Alex Ross covers, like I would do that
oh yeah.
in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
But like
That's a fun goal. Yeah, if you
Cody
want to.
wouldn't let me lie. I have been like texting him like, "Hey, what do you think of this Omni? Should I get it?" Or this is my list of Omnis for the
I always
year.
say yes, dude. I don't have self-control. How am I supposed to have self-control for someone else? I'm like,
But
yeah,
I'll
you
be
get
seeing
it.
your hauls, and it's just like 6 Omnis and like 8 collected editions, and I'm like,
Oh,
bro.
you know it's funny. I don't know if you. It's just out of frame. You guys can't see it, but I got a box down here that's got. I think it's got 4 Omnis in it that I'm gonna do.
Dang.
Probably an unboxing tomorrow. But
I don't even have an Omni.
dude,
Well, I have
listen,
a compendium, Invincible, if you can see. That's my
Invincible,
first
yeah.
I
one.
see it right there.
Invincible
Yeah.
1,
It sticks
and I haven't
out.
read it.
You know,
Dude, it's slip. Yeah, like we're saying, dude. If you get like Batman Snyder's like a easy Omni to recommend, even though you probably already read the material, but that's like a cool set because it comes in 2, and then you start the Omni journey, and it's definitely a slippery slope. But I guess for me, man, it's like for new stuff, I've been doing a lot of single issues as it's coming out, but I try to get it in like the completest format as possible, right? So like a good example is there's like a Hellboy. I think it's called Hellboy, like hell-sized hardcover or something like that. I think it's like this big, dude. It's
My
crazy.
God.
So that's like the format that's appealing to me, just because it has everything all in one. You charge my credit card one time, and now I have all of Hellboy, But so yeah, that's typically what I do is try to get as much in like one binding as possible.
The credit card was probably the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. It's like, oh, I don't have to pay for it now, so might as well use the credit card. And then my credit card bill's like $1,000.
the worst thing you can do is when you discover like monthly payments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
Yeah,
oh, I don't gotta pay it right now. That's fine.
but then
it's
you're
only
paying,
it's only like $50 today,
Yeah.
and 2 weeks from now it's
and then you're paying like 2 Omnis a month. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
right. Like they stack up, and like every monthly payment is like as much as an Omni would be because you have 4 monthly payments going at once.
It's just like, oh, it's just one $25 trade, and now I owe $800 at the end of the month.
yeah, right. So I don't know where do we take this now. So a big part of what I wanted to talk about, because I know you guys are super into figures, dude. I would love to just hear you guys' experience like collecting figures and stuff like that. I'll throw it to Cozmik first, dude. It's like what like makes like a good figure, I guess might be a first good question.
Well, I guess it kind of depends on what you're into. Like, some people like articulation and posing and stuff like that. And when it comes to those, Marvel Legends are probably your best bet. But me personally, I'm more of like a detail kind of person, like, because they just sit on my shelf
Okay.
most of the time. So I like to have like a detailed figure. So I mostly stick to McFarlane, but I do have a lot of Marvel Legends. And that's pretty much it. I kind of like arrange my shelves depending on the team. Like up there, it's like my Justice League. So, I got my Batman, my Superman, Green Lantern, stuff like that. And just build different displays. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess the question I would ask is like what's like maybe the price range even for McFarlane toys? I'm not even familiar with that. Like, what's like the upper limit of what you'll spend on a figure? Let's say.
Well, it kind of they have these ones called gold labels, which are kind of like their exclusives, and they usually only hit stores for like a little bit if they hit stores, and if they don't, scalpers will run them up $70-$80. But the normal prices on them are $20. Mega figs are $40, whereas Marvel Legends are $25, and their like bigger ones are like $50-$60. So Marvel Legends are definitely more expensive. You are getting the articulation, but you're not getting the detail. And they use a lot of the same body molds too. So I don't know. I'm more of a DC guy, especially because they're cheaper. They also come in 2-packs and all kinds of different stuff. So
yeah, and
Yeah,
Speed.
dude,
I see, and this is not like a joke. I see a Lego skeleton head back there.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like,
is.
here's my thing, and I want to know. I
want
want to know like what you buy, because like for me, like if you can see behind me, I have like Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead next to the lead singer of Gorillaz,
Hey, that's dope.
next to a pink head. Like I don't follow like a. I just like fucking cool shit. I don't know how else
Yeah.
to say it, and I see a bunch of like just like the figures like just standing there like menacingly actually looking at me. So I want to see like, because I feel like there's this debate, and I want to throw it to Speed of like, oh, should I keep him in the box? Should I take him
No.
out of the?
Take them out.
take them out.
Like, there's specific times I'd say keep them in. Like, obviously, if it's like from maybe like it's like from the 60s, it's like there's 3 left. Yeah, don't open that. you know, or if there's super sentimental values or whatever, something like that. And if anyone doesn't want to open your figures, you don't have to listen to me, but I open everything for the most part. Funkos, figures, whatever. I have an unopened Flash right here, but that's just because I have two, and that one's open. And so, um, yeah, the only reason I would ever not open something is if because I have multiple or it's worth like more like an absurd amount. But I'm definitely all about opening them because I like posing them, messing around, all the different, like moving them around different displays and stuff. So if you don't do that, they just sit on your wall.
Exactly.
3D wallpaper.
We bully Stu all the
Yeah.
time about it. We're just like, bro, just open
Oh,
them. Just open them.
Stu's an inbox collector.
No, not recently.
He's changing.
Yeah, we've
started
to
changed
change.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like kind of similar. My dad has like back in the day, he used to collect the action figures for Lord of the Rings, so like when the movies are coming out.
That's
And
dope.
I guess he thought, maybe they'd be worth something one day. So he's got a box just full of them, and they're all in box. And I don't think they're worth that much. So I think I would lean, like if I were a figure collector, I would lean towards you guys and just open them up. You know what I mean? Looks cooler that way.
I think
but-
my dad. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe he will text me when he listens to this to correct me, but I think he will always like hate me, and hate is a big word, but he had all the Star Wars toy from like the Phantom Menace to Revenge of the Sith. He bought them all, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you can play with them." And honestly, if you ask me to this day, I don't know what happened, but all the lightsabers disappeared.
All of them?
Oh God.
And like
That's
to
brutal.
this day, I think he might still be upset, especially since I cannot give him a straight answer of what happened. But also, I was like 5. So
Those things were flimsy. I had the same ones. Like I wasn't even big into Star Wars, but I had the same figures. Those little lightsabers were so flimsy. You turn them the wrong way and
They
they just
were.
snap.
I mean, I do feel bad now. Like as a collector, I'm like, oh, I would kill my kid probably.
Bro.
Right. Naturally. Yeah, so I don't know. So you guys mostly sounds like you focus on like McFarlane and Marvel Legends, because I know some people do. What's that brand? I forgot.
Maytag.
Like Hot Toys.
Oh, Hot Toy.
Oh, Hot Toys too. Yeah,
the
there's
one
a
you
lot.
brought up too. Yeah, just like the higher end figures. I don't know if you guys have any experience like in that kind of realm.
Yeah, it's more
Not
like
me.
why spend
Yeah.
like $150 on one when I could get 10 of them for that price, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's,
There's definitely ones that catch my eye and stuff. And in all honesty, I'll probably have some in the future for sure. But as of now, as far as figures are concerned, yeah, it's strictly Marvel Legends or McFarlane.
I know.
And from it mostly comes down to like the value of it for you guys. Sounds like
yeah, the price.
For
Yeah.
me, yeah, I guess value slash like availability and like stuff like that. Because I don't shop online a lot, like for anything. It's just I don't know. I kind of have this thing where like if the money leaves me now, I want the product now, and so I'm big on like and just like the hunt, like I'm
Yeah.
looking for this. I don't want to just look it up and sure it's right there and I buy it and then it's shipped to me. I like having the struggle, having to find it and then you finally find it, get all hyped and stuff. And so it's a lot harder to find certain like import figures and stuff like that. But
Well, if you find another
Yeah.
Black Lightning, send it my way, please.
I know.
Please,
I
bro.
know. I know. Me and Cody have this thing where we refuse to buy figures. And I don't think I will. I'm trying to never buy a figure, and it comes down to the fact that if I buy one,
It's just, yeah.
I'll buy a
100%.
million.
it's 100%
Because
true.
there's
like,
so
oh,
many
I got a
times,
Batman,
like-
I gotta get a Spider-Man. Well, now I gotta
I've
get a
been
Wonder
to
Woman.
I've been to 2 comic book conventions with Cody, and it's like we avoid looking at them.
I don't blame
yeah.
you. I mean, yeah, for me, the first figure I ever got, like as an adult, was like, I can't see, you probably can't see it, but it was it was a Barry Allen Flash figure from the Darkest Night Build-A-Wave. But anyway, I think my mom or sister got it for me for Christmas, and I specifically remember looking at it, putting it on my shelf and being like, here we go. I'm like, this is You guys you don't even know it. You
Yeah, I had
started it
the
now.
same like
Here
experience.
we
I
are.
watched the Batman with Robert Pattinson, and I was in Target with my girlfriend. I was like, "That's cool. I used to collect those because I saw the little figure." And she was like, "Just why don't you get it? Like, why don't you start collecting them again?" I was like, but they're toys. They're for kids." And she was like, "Nah, it'd be cool. You'd start collecting them." She had no idea. She had no
Yeah,
idea.
the monster, the monster.
Yeah,
It's quite the
I bought it, and
avalanche.
then now it's unleashed.
Like Christian's saying, like every time we go to a con, we really do have to avoid it because, well, I mean, dude, honestly, like I don't even know where the hell I would put these figures. Like I got this shelf over here, but that's my girlfriend's shelf, and then the one right behind me with all the comics on it. I mean, you can't really put anything up there.
I
Um, but
listen.
yeah,
I mean,
I
It is
just I don't know
tough.
the space for 'em,
every
yeah.
Funko Pop I have has been a gift from someone. This Superman I have like behind me, I only bought it because I went to like my LCS and I was like, dude, that Superman's been there for so long. Like it's ever since the first day I came here, it's like $150. Like, and he was like, give me 30.
Hey, there you go.
Just take it. And I was like,
Well,
okay.
dude,
And then that Gorillas one, Cody got me for my birthday. So like, I try to avoid buying them at all costs.
usually gifts, yeah. Well, so that's a good question for you guys as well. Like, because there is like there is a difference between like statues and figures, right?
Hmm.
Because I know that like some of the higher end statues you get in like $1,000 plus, right? And it's like a huge bust or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you guys have any experience like collecting statues at all? I guess I'll throw it to Cosmik
I
first.
don't.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, McFarlane releases statues usually with like movies and stuff. Like they'll have their statue line, and those nobody usually buys those, and they hit clearance within a week. But I don't
Oh,
have
nice.
anywhere to put them, so I don't. I have like one Funko Pop, and then that's it. Not really big into
Yeah.
statues. I only bought it because it's Stan Lee, and I just wanted a Stan Lee Funko Pop. And
Right.
I like to collect what I call stupid Funko Pops. I have a Garfield, Grimace, yeah, every dumb character you can think of, I have it.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Christian likes the silly little dudes. So if it's a silly little dude, it's on a pop. He'll probably
that
pick it
Grimace
up.
one like skyrocket in value.
You know what, well, he must have been like 10, but my 15-year-old brother got it for me. Like he was like, you know what, it's Christmas, here you go.
Oh,
And
like back
like
in the day.
Yeah.
it's not that I necessarily like Garfield or Grimace. It's just that they're so dumb in my eyes that I have to
I
have
get
it.
ya.
It's the same with rubber ducks. It's just like it's so stupid. It also reminds me of childhood, I guess, but it's just like I like dumb things.
I have one rubber duck, and it's like a little flash rubber duck.
I have a Superman one
Oh,
somewhere
That's
back
sick.
there, and I have one.
So I mean, this is a good because you mentioned like the rarity, right? So I was just curious, what's like your guys's rarest figure? I guess it sounds like there might be some like I don't know if you guys would even know like the
I don't
hardest
have.
one or whatever because it sounds like you brought up the static one earlier, so that just I don't know, is like the static one like hard to get or something?
oh, Black Lightning.
Oh, Black
Black
Lightning.
Lightning, my
That
bad,
one
yeah.
just came
Yeah.
out, so it's like it's really
It's a Walmart
sought after,
exclusive.
so it's pretty hard to find. Yeah, I can snag it.
So, like-
It's just right
Oh,
here.
I got you. So right, they do like retailer
Yeah,
exclusive.
and
I
it's a
didn't even
Walmart
realize that.
exclusive.
Okay.
My Walmarts around here don't stock their shelves like ever. So it's like I can't find
Right.
it anywhere.
Oh, that's nice.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't say I don't know
Yeah.
about rarest. I
It's
can
got
know
the
like
lightning
cool.
hands.
That is
I know
cool,
ones
yeah.
that are worth the most, but I don't know about like rarest figures.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have anything crazy rare, but
Batman Nightfall maybe, but it's really not that rare right now. It just came
Hmm.
out. Oh, I have the Grim Knight from Dark Death Metal or Dark Knight's Metal. You know, the Batman who's basically the Punisher.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
this Flashpoint one, the one that I have two of, it's not. It's on the newer end as well, and it's a lot of people want it. It's hard to find,
Yeah,
but I
it's
wouldn't
sold out pretty quick.
necessarily call it rare, but it is
Gotcha.
definitely hard to find for sure.
Okay, so my next question then, it's something that I could have looked it up at any point, all right? But I wanted to ask the experts. So that one there that you just had, Speed, that one was like a gold label or whatever.
Mhm.
So I don't know, could you just like run me through like what's the difference between this collectors whatever and this gold label? Like what's going on here? You know what I mean?
From my
Like-
perspective, there's literally
There's
no
nothing.
difference.
Yeah, no.
Gotcha.
From their perspective, what they market is that gold labels are just like higher quality in the sense that it's
Okay.
either like better paint job or like more articulation, but the reality of it is there's no difference. They'll just hike up the price slightly on them, like, and
Gotcha.
so and then I
Like
guess
gold
maybe a little
labels.
rarer.
Well,
That's what I was gonna ask, right? So like it sounded like maybe gold labels didn't translate to it's more rare. Because the other day when I went to Target or whatever, I saw like 5 gold labels. I'm like, whoa, should I buy these right now? I don't even know. But
it
Yeah,
just
and
depends.
it's very
yeah,
it's very specific to the figure.
It's in some cases it's
Um,
like a chase for a Funko Pop. Like some cases there'll be a figure and then they'll reskin the figure in a different thing and call it a gold label, and then other cases they'll just release a random figure and call it a gold label. Like, or sometimes
Yeah.
they'll
Okay.
release a 2-pack like with Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, and then they'll release Blue Beetle by himself as a gold label, like separate with
Gotcha.
like
kind of
different
just like a
accessories.
way. Yeah, it's just like a way of kind of saying like it's a slightly premium version.
Yeah,
Kind
it's like
It's
it's a
sort
money
of like
grab.
and
It's what it is.
it's
A money
sort of
yeah,
like
but
when
there's
people
also
ask
Mhm.
me, "Oh, why is that Batman book more expensive than the Green Lantern book?" I'm like, I know I bought it though.
Yeah,
It's
very
true.
true. There's also, I mean, McFarlane also does a thing called Platinum Label or Platinum Edition, and those will
Wow.
normally be a little different because those are normally also like a chase where, like, from my knowledge, they're like unpainted.
They're unpainted and they're like
Yeah,
rare. Like that's just it's just they don't
So they're just like white
gray.
or whatever
The
the hell
gray.
they.
Yeah.
grayish, whitish. Yeah,
Oh,
I
It's probably like a
have
reject.
Platinum
It's
Edition.
like, oh,
I don't have any.
we gotta get rid of these guys. Like, what do we do?
yeah,
Yeah,
right. Like we have
pretty
some like
much. And just
leftover
call them
plastic
I
rare.
or
only have
something,
one,
right?
and it's literally just this.
I've never seen that. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's
They're
so
for
weird.
like
It is
$5.
kind of cool, I guess.
Listen,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
gonna be. I don't want to be an asshole. But that's the dumbest thing I've ever
I
read.
100% agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
and they're all
like,
rare and
it's a
stuff.
money
I
grab.
guess it kind of looks
100%.
like a statue, like an actual like
Yeah,
made
like
out
a
of marble or
concrete.
whatever
Yeah,
the
but like
hell.
they're
But
charging you more for like less work.
yeah,
No, it's the same
for
price.
sure.
Gold labels and
Oh, okay.
platinums, they're the same
Oh,
price,
okay.
but usually they skyrocket after because people will buy them because they're like rare, and then they'll scalp for them. They'll be like, "Oh, this is a
Okay.
gold label or a
Gotcha.
platinum." Like, I'm gonna
I'll
target
take back
$80
my
for it.
statement.
Yeah,
I'll take back my statement. They're charging you the same for less work.
yeah, exactly. No, 100%
Pretty
agree.
much.
Right.
It's like
So,
if I
so
sold
yeah, so
if I sold you a comic and I was like, "Hey, I'll charge you 20 for this one with no dialogue." How about that?
right, like this one's got no art. It's
That's how I feel about blank covers.
yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Well, the only reason I'd ever get a blank cover is if I'm gonna take it to the artist and like see if they'll draw
Yeah.
something on it for me, and like
Yeah,
make it kind of rare. But
yeah,
no way I'd just collect it just to have a blank cover.
I will
Yeah,
say, like,
exactly.
meeting the artist and having them like draw something or like write something is really nice. I know I've never like made an artist draw something. I know Cody has.
How do you?
I didn't mean
Can I
to,
ask you?
dude.
How do you do that? Like, how do you? Because I'm meeting Greg Capullo at Comic Con, and I have a blank cover of Batman New 52, and I want to
Okay.
see if he'll draw something, but I don't want to come off like.
So they charge you like a specific
yeah,
amount for a drawing.
Greg's probably gonna charge you. He's probably like that level.
Yeah.
So like, unfortunately or fortunately for I don't know, like you're supporting the comic creator you like or whatever, but they'll charge you like $5 for a sig, 10 for a remark, that sort of thing. So it just depends.
But
Yeah, but I
so it's
know-
not gonna go over like $50 though.
I mean, we don't.
I guess it could.
If he's really going for it, like because we saw
yeah, Greg Capullo thinks he's a hot shot. He could charge 50 maybe.
we
but
saw
I don't know.
Marcio Takara and he was doing some like you could see that he was taking his time.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
remember
Yeah,
for the convention that I went to in Denver this summer, Jim Lee was there, and he had like the different tiers of signatures or whatever, and the highest one he was like it was like a detailed drawing, and it was
Yep.
like 1200.
I just dropped.
It was like
I just dropped
ridiculous.
$140 for that Jim Lee thing at Comic Con.
Now
Yeah.
Cody's story is like to me the funniest thing ever. It was Kyle Starks.
Daniel
right?
Warren Johnson
Oh,
one?
I was thinking Kyle Starks, but you can tell both honestly.
Well, I don't even remember. I remember the Kyle Starks one, but so like I went up to Daniel Warren Johnson and I just wanted a sig. I swear to God, dude, I just wanted a sig. And I guess he thought I was trying to like get like a free remark or something. And I'm like, nah, dude, just a sig. It's a signature book. I'm just trying to get signatures. So he seemed like he was maybe a little bit mad. Like, I'll draw draw like a Murder Falcon, one of the series he did. But I felt bad because I was like, I wasn't trying to get like free art from you, dude. I really just wanted a SIG, but thanks anyways, man.
I don't know if it was
Uh,
Cal Starks that did Pickle Rick. Was it Cal Starks?
Yeah. So Kyle Starks, he did a lot of Rick and Morty. So same thing. I was like, yeah, it's just a signature, dude, just a signature. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna draw something. He's like, what do you want me to draw? And I'm like, I know you did a lot of Rick and Morty. How about you just do a Pickle Rick? And he did.
And he
He
did
was
it.
like joking,
And
man.
then Kody
Yeah.
asked him something like, "What's your least favorite thing to draw?" And he said, "Pickle Rick."
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was
That's
like,
great.
oh, my bad.
Freaking
It's
love
the
that
first thing that
episode.
came to mind, dude. Because
That's
I'm
awesome.
sure, I'm sure that's probably he does the most Pickle Ricks ever. You know what I mean? Everybody wants a Pickle Rick, I bet.
I
But
could imagine, yeah.
yeah. But you guys are going to New York Comic Con. I hope you guys have a ton of fun. Getting a bunch of signatures and
I like
stuff.
it.
You might be waiting in line a lot, though. I will
Yeah.
say.
Well, that's for Thursday. I have a fat stack for Thursday. I'm just going to use that day for getting autograph signatures. And then Friday and Sunday is going to be the day where I go and do everything.
I will say,
Gotcha.
advice from two guys who have gone to two cons totally
only
unprepared.
2. Yep.
Just really plan shit out. I know you guys have been to cons,
I've
and
never
I'm not
been, actually.
plan everything out because me and Cody, like, especially for making content, we're like, dude, we're gonna film every day, and then we get there day one, and we're like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
And we end up filming only like one day, and it's always the last day, and we're like, there's no one here.
It's like a scramble. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah, because like I guess that's a good question for you guys. Like, if you guys are going to New York Comic Con as you're gonna make content, or are you guys going as just just going to go?
I was just going to go. It was a gift from my mom for my birthday because I said I wanted to go and I wanted to buy
Oh, yeah.
tickets, and I missed the ticket sales, and she had went behind and already gotten them, so that was like a cool thing. And so I was just going because it'd be my first Comic Con, and it's like the second biggest one in the country, so it'd be a cool experience.
Yep.
But since I started making content and stuff like that, I would like to do some content on there. I don't exactly know how the artists and writers are about like getting interviewed. Like, I don't know if they were in a rush or anything like that. So I don't want to
Definitely gotta play it by ear.
yeah,
for
I don't want to
sure,
hold
yeah.
them up or anything like that. But I definitely want to ask them a question or two to see who their favorite to draw, who their biggest inspiration, stuff like that. Hopefully. And then I'm hanging out with a Comic Book Direct too as well. They're like the little group and podcast, so that'll be fun. We're going to shoot some content for them as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, right on.
That'd be
So
real cool.
speed, same thing, dude. You plan on making like a ton of content at New York Comic Con, or just like onesie twosie stuff here and there?
Oh, I'm not going to New York Comic Con.
My bad. I thought all 4 of you guys were
Yeah.
going.
Oh no, just Brandon's going.
Lucky guy. Yeah, nice.
He's
It's my
not
first time on a
going,
plane
yeah.
too, so let's go back.
Oh,
Oh,
wow,
that's
a
fun.
big
Yeah.
one.
Girlfriend's freaking out. She's like, it's gonna crash. We're gonna die. And I'm like, I think we're
You know
gonna
what?
be okay.
I will say, and this is like I hate planes, but the one thing I would recommend is always look at like the flight attendants. If they're calm, there could be turbulence, and you'll see them like just on their phone. If you see them freak out, that's when you freak out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good to know.
if they're like looking for something, that's when
Oh,
you
but the
go,
worst part,
gee,
she's
what's
been
going
watching
on?
videos about plane crashes for like 3 weeks.
Jesus.
She's like, you would think it would make it worse, but it's actually making it better. And I'm like, how? How is that making
Nah.
it better?
It's not
That's
definitely
crazy,
not.
dude.
I do know. We're getting to the hour, and me and Cody have been doing this podcast for a year and a month, something like that. And
Something like
I
that.
think it's interesting when we run into people who also have a podcast. And I want to
That's true.
I definitely want to ask how you guys got together to do that, because for us it was just like, I think Cody just followed me, and it was like, I guess this is it.
Yeah, I guess we're friends now. Yeah, it was destiny.
Wasn't that different?
Yeah,
I
I think that's
guess.
exactly kind of
yeah.
how it happened.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective at least, me and Brandon had been talking about, like, we had thrown the idea of a podcast around, and then same with the other guys, Stu, Mac. The idea had been thrown around for a while, and then one day we just kind of got all together in a group chat and we're just like, yeah, let's just do
Yeah.
it. And then yeah, rest is
It
history.
was
I think
me and
How'd you come
Stu,
with
and
the
then
name?
Matt, or no, me and Nate, and then Mac and Stu. We were each throwing around like the podcast to each other, and then me and Mac had been friends for a while before like Nate and Stu, and then Mac told me about their idea, and I told Mac about our idea, and I was like, oh well, there's 4 of us, let's just all do it.
Yeah, dude.
I think
That's beautiful.
the funny
I love
part
stuff
about
like that.
me and Cody is that we started like crossover comics, like this network, and then like people were like, "Oh, will you ever make a podcast?" And we were like, "We don't want to do something too serious, you know." JJ's comic stuff was like, "Oh, I'll do the podcast," and we're like, "Cool, you do that." And then me and Cody we're like, "Let's do something like super chill, where it's just you and me, not taking it seriously." And now we're like a year into it, and we're like, "We gotta keep growing this shit."
Yeah, I think this is episode 30. It's kind of crazy how
Yeah.
time flies. Yeah.
And y'all push
Uh,
your own merchandise as well, right? Like I've been meaning to ask like how that works, and like
It's
Yeah, dude.
so the way we
Got the
saw
hat
it
on right here. It's my dog.
The way we saw it, it was like I kind of hate like nerdy like clothes because they always look like something someone would wear in The Big Bang Theory. And if that's what you like, go for it. Cool. It's just not what I like. So like the idea, me and Cody were like thinking, let's just make clothes. They don't necessarily have to be nerdy, but
Right.
if like if people follow us and they like it, they'll buy it. But if people, don't follow us, they might see it and still like it.
I agree.
Yeah.
We've thrown that
I see
idea
what you
around
mean
too,
with
like
that.
starting like a clothing like line, like with just like like it doesn't have to be like nerd stuff or Hall of Nerd stuff. It would just be cool clothing.
But
Yeah.
I think like the thing is our name really lends itself to like not be comic book merch. Because Color Break, no one hears it and says like, "Oh yeah, no, I know about paper creases." No one thinks that.
Right. That's true. I have a question for you guys. Who came up with the name Hall of Nerds?
Bro,
I think I did.
yeah, after like
Nice.
I
a
think
month, we were
it was quite
yeah.
the process, though. Yeah, we couldn't
Same thing,
decide
dude. Same
on anything.
thing. The name's the toughest part.
It's because
Absolutely.
everything's taken.
It
We were
is.
brainstorming for weeks. Like we'd be like, "Oh, I got a good idea."
Yeah.
Fun fact: it was almost called Geek Yogurt.
I
That's
was never
not
on
bad.
board for
That's
that.
not,
So
that,
bad.
maybe not for a podcast, but that's something.
Yeah,
Something
it
there.
was almost.
I think it was just taken though. I think that was the hard.
No, that was the only one that
thing,
wasn't
there's just so
taken.
much
And then
stuff
we were like,
taken.
well,
Oh,
Gotcha.
in like a outsider like Geek Yogurt doesn't necessarily sound very good. Let's just stick it with
I
Hall
like
of
it.
Nerds.
Hey, listen,
Sounds like it tastes good though.
I
will say.
I
Some
love
geek yogurt,
I
dude.
love dumb shit. So go for it.
Geek
man.
yogurt.
Oh, well, maybe we can use
Yeah.
that for like the clothing line then.
Look at that.
Geek
Yeah.
yogurt.
Oh, yeah.
So it sounds like Speed's the idea guy. Am I right there? Like he's got the
Yeah,
I mean,
he draws
I
up
guess
all our
so.
outlines. He does all the editing. We definitely couldn't do the podcast without him.
nice dude.
Well,
Big ups to Speed, man.
We'd like to say Cody's the idea, man. I don't even know what to call myself.
everything else,
He
man.
He just does the work. He's the workhorse, dude. I tell him, hey, it'd be cool if we did this, and he's like, now I gotta figure out how to do that.
But
Yeah,
I
but
like
yeah.
the challenge. I will say, like Cody will give me like the dumbest idea sometimes, and I'm like, and then he'll say like, no, actually, never mind, that's stupid. I'm like, no,
We'll make it work.
we can, we
That's
can
what we do.
make
Someone will
something out
pitch
of
an
this.
idea, and it's like,
Mhm.
can we make that work? And then we're like, we'll make it work.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, dude. I don't know. What do you think, Christian? You got any other questions for these
I
dudes?
want to ask them, sort of like what's their process for the podcast, especially since like, so just to give you an insight into our podcast, me and Cody will like come up with an episode idea and brainstorm it, sort of like get the topics, probably like 6 hours before the episode is filmed.
It's true.
We do not plan anything out, even for this one. I can send you a screenshot of the text. I texted Cody 2 hours ago saying, "Hey, what's the topics?"
That's kind
So,
of
like,
I'm like,
exactly
"Ah,
what we
man,
do.
something like
Yeah.
this. Nice.
We're fairly similar. I mean, it kind of just depends on the week, because yeah, we try our best to get our episodes out weekly and stuff, and so depending on how busy each of us are that week, we'll prepare like a rough outline for it, maybe as early as like a week prior to, yeah, as late as we are logging on to the film and stuff like that. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, we just kind of brainstorm on it, any ideas, segments that we can talk about, whether it's like current news, new comics, new movies, stuff like that. Yeah, like fun games segments, and then I just I'll whip up an outline on like Google Docs, share between all of us. It's nothing too crazy, just pretty much what our segments are and stuff, and just who's gonna intro them. Um, with just little like time management parts on the side, just to like kind of try and keep us within certain amounts of
We
time
never
per
do.
segment. Yeah, it never really works well. We always go
You know
over,
what?
but
I will say, me and Cody, I would say at first, were really like scared of not having a guest. I think because it meant
Yeah.
like, oh, we have to fill the time, just you and me talking.
Yeah, because then you gotta like you can't just
I
ask them
honestly
questions.
like, and I'll say this: it wasn't until we met in real life that I was like, oh, we can hold an hour. We can do an hour,
Right.
just like chill. Because like a lot of times we'd be like, oh, we have no guests, and we'd be like, should we like maybe wait, not post anything this week? And it's
Right.
stressful. I mean, I'm not gonna say like it's like, oh, having a podcast is so hard. Like, yeah, it's hard, but it's also something you choose. It's not like I'm not gonna sit here and complain
The
about
cool thing
it.
about comics
one's
is
got a gun to
there's
my
just
head,
so
yeah.
much content to talk about. Like, it's so easy to just segue from one thing to another and then spend 30 minutes on that thing. Like, I talked to Jabril the other
Right.
day, and he was like, all right, we can keep it like an hour, hour and a half. We talked for almost 3 hours. Just kept segueing to other
Nice.
stuff, and eventually we just had to cut it off just because it was like so hard to find a like stopping point, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You kind of find that
Me and
groove
Co-
and you just keep talking.
it's
yeah.
funny because it'll be like we're like Color Break, your third favorite comic book podcast, and then we'll have an episode about like just like talking about Taylor Swift and movies, and never mention a single comic book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
kind of like
fair.
an inside joke, yeah, that it's the third favorite comic book podcast, but we talk about comics about half the time, maybe. I mean, just in this episode, we talked a lot about figures.
What's the
so-
what's the first and second?
Well, the thing is,
I don't know,
there's
it's up
no
to you,
choice.
man.
I
We're
mean,
your
you
third
guys
guy.
you guys can be second. We don't care. The way we see it is like first place is too much pressure,
Yeah.
and second
Yeah.
place you're just battling for that first. You know,
So third.
Right,
Third-
you just got
There's
envy.
that
yeah.
sweet
Third,
spot.
third, you still get
Nice
bronze.
Still.
Proud to be on the podium.
You're in the
Yeah.
podium, but you don't have to do much more. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
I
It's
like
like, you guys like football, right? It's like,
Oh yeah.
I think it was on, was it Blue Mountain State, that show?
Oh
He-
yes.
he wanted to be third string, right? Because he's like, a lot of pressure if you're backup. Because this guy gets hurt, now you got to be second string. But
Mhm.
third string, dude, they'll never need you, bro. You're just chilling.
Oh yeah.
Just chilling
exactly.
in third, yeah.
That's how we see
Um,
it. It's just. I mean, we never want to be too serious.
That's
Mhm.
good.
Something that you guys do that I might steal your. You guys do a lot of games.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to
Yeah,
do more
please.
games with Christian.
Segment.
Steal 'em.
It's also really
We
good
steal
for filming,
them,
like,
too,
if
so-
you don't have news for the week or just anything to talk about, throw a couple segments in.
Yeah,
I can say like
Some
it's
games,
if
yeah.
you guys knew the amount of plans we have, you'd probably like think we're stupid.
Plants?
You-
Like,
Yeah, no, just like think plans for the future, or like
Oh,
Cody would be like,
plans.
what if we
Mm.
what if we do this? And it's like the most outlandish. Like
I thought you said plants. I
Expensive.
was like, how many
Oh,
ferns
I
do
ha-
y'all have in your
I have
You should see our
none.
group chat.
I have
Plant
fake
dead, yeah.
flowers up there, but yeah, no, like the amount of things. It's like sometimes I'll like think of an idea and write it down, and I'm like, that would cost me like $50,000, and we will never do it.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I like
same.
writing
I
it
mean,
down.
We got some empty malls for sale in the group
Bro,
chat
we were
for a
just
couple
talking
$1 million
about
that we were scheming on.
We were talking about a
Nice, dude.
$3.5 million mall to buy and turn it into a comic book store.
nice.
Just for a comic book store, we need the whole mall.
Oh my god! It would be an experience,
So-
not a comic
But,
book
dude,
store.
part of me wants to like start selling like for a while, dude. I don't know if you guys are into this at all, but I was trying to do like, oh, you buy the single issues, you press them, you get them graded, then you flip them. I was trying to do that whole thing, and that's a lot of work,
It's
dude.
expensive too.
Like-
CGC's just are crazy expensive.
Yeah, no.
Yes, I don't know. Do you guys have any like experience with like graded comics at
I
all?
don't. I want to get.
Never.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
one
Don't have
just to
any
have one,
graded.
but probably all my signed ones that I get at Comic Con, I'm probably gonna get graded.
You have to get him like actually
Yeah,
like what,
that's
what's it
whole
called?
thing. I don't even know if you know about that. So like if you get your stuff signed and you try to submit it to CGC, you'll probably come back with a green label instead of a gold, because you need like a CGC signature witness or something.
Yeah.
Like someone from CGC has to watch Greg Capullo sign it for you, and then it's like a whole process. So yeah,
It's a no.
Yeah.
They're gonna be at the con, like the people who like the witness. Like if you want to do that,
Does
They'll
it
be
cost
there.
extra?
I think it definitely costs. Like you got to hire CGC. The guy's got to follow you in line. He's waiting in line next to you.
Probably
You're
not.
talking to
Probably
this guy,
not talking
becoming his
to
best
the
friends.
entire. No,
You can't just like take a
Yeah,
video.
like
No,
a picture
no,
of you, him signing.
No.
Dang.
no.
It's
It's
unfortunate.
brutal.
it's like
yeah.
the Guinness Book of World Records. They won't give you a record if they don't witness it.
Yeah,
So
they
like
gotta witness it,
theoretically,
so.
then that makes me curious. I have like this signed comic right here. I wasn't the one who got it signed.
Now you're like the third witness.
It's Batman 75, City of
Yep,
Bane,
yep.
signed by Tom King, and it has that. Would that like work?
No, yeah.
That's a
I think it has to.
So
I
I-
think it has to be CGC.
so
They
that's
ain't
a
rocking
good
with Midtown.
so speed. That's a good question, dude. It does kind of stink. That one maybe for CGC. It sounds like for other graders, like what's the other
CBC.
grader? Dude? Yeah, CBCS would probably honor the cert, but yeah, I don't think CGC would,
I think I'm
unfortunately.
just gonna
And they're
apply
like
to work at CGC, and then I'm my own witness.
There you
Yeah.
go.
dude, you can like apply to become a CBCS person, and then you could approve your own.
Oh, for real?
But yeah, I think so. That's how you guys might know him on TikTok. Is from the Nerd Cave up in Canada. I don't know if you guys know him.
Oh yeah.
That sounds familiar.
I'm very
That's
familiar.
that's a great idea though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's his
But
own. He's his own
I wonder
witness.
if,
So
if
that's
I
cool.
can do that before I go to Comic-Con. Gotta apply for it. And
Yeah.
get,
Yeah.
It's brutal though, dude. Yeah, so like 'cause, I went to see C2E2 earlier this year. Got a ton of stuff signed. I wasn't looking to send it to CGC just because I knew it'd come back with a green label. But yeah, it is unfortunate.
is green make it not as valuable? Like,
Yeah, not as valuable for sure. Cause so like green would be like if you took a crayon and you wrote Cosmic Collector on it, right? That's like how they see it. Just some guy like wrote on the book.
Yeah.
So it's kind of seen as like a defect
Okay.
almost,
Yeah.
I think.
It's
so
like,
they
it's
grade?
not
Do they
real.
grade it lower because there's that writing on it?
No,
now?
you'll get the grading for the book, but if you try to sell it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that could be anyone." So we're not gonna pay you.
To answer Cosmic's question, like I think they grade like the quality of the book minus the marking. So you used to get like a 9.4 or whatever, 9.6, and then they'd slap the green label because
Yeah.
I don't think they drop you to like a 2 because someone drew on it.
So
or
it'd
whatever,
probably
you know,
be
but-
it'd probably sell for more. I'm not ever gonna sell them, obviously, but it'd probably sell for more if you just didn't get a CGC and just was like, yeah. this guy signed it.
Almost, yeah. Definitely with the cert, I bet a lot of people would be down to buy that the Tom King one for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, because I don't really have too much interest in getting things graded or anything like that. At least as of
I mean, I'm
now,
never
so
selling them, so I don't need
it's
to.
interesting.
I feel
Yeah.
you.
yeah. I guess like a goal for me with the graded stuff, I was trying to get all the Bat Fam like first appearances. That'd be cool as like a set. But yeah, I'm kind of out of the graded comic game. I was trying to.
My pride and
There you
joy.
go. That's on my
pride
list,
and
dude.
joy.
I was looking at a 9.6 for that the other day. It's like actually, that's a good point. Graded comics are kind of dropping right now. So for anyone that's
Really?
listening, you're into it.
Yeah.
I guess the market's kind of on fire right now. But yeah.
Yeah, but we are before we go, I do want to ask because not only do you guys have the podcast, but you have your own individual claim to fame, and I want to ask if you have anything coming up, if you have anything you want to promote, we always, of course, will put your link in the bio. Kody will do it. I will not touch anything that takes more work than editing.
Yeah, I do description and title. That's all I do. But yeah.
So let's start with Speed. Do you have anything you want to promote?
I mean, I'm not necessarily working on any serious projects right now, but I mean, always the Hall of Nerds podcast, YouTube and TikTok. Check us out there, and the SpeedSultan on TikTok for me. Do my best to post daily comic book stuff, figures, just all whatever nerdy stuff I like to talk about at the moment. That's what I'm posting. So,
Which I will say, daily is insane, and I don't know
It's a
if
grind. I was gonna say you guys grind
I don't know
hard,
if I
man. That's good
respect
stuff.
you or fear you. But
it's
Gotta keep
brutal.
the-
The hardest
gotta
part
keep
is the
content on
ideas.
Yeah, bro. I
Yeah.
have to like circle back to old ideas because I just can't come up with stuff daily.
same
Exactly.
for you, Cozmik. What do you have?
Same thing as Nate. Check out the Hall Nerds podcast. We do have a giveaway out right now, so go enter in that. It ends at the end of October. So we're giving out like 3 Omnis.
The what was it again?
We're giving out the Invincible Compendium #1, We're giving out Grant Morrison's Batman Omnibus #1, and then we're giving the whole complete collection of Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man.
I'm gonna join right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really easy to
Only
do.
for that
and then
Batman.
I'm hosting my giveaway at 20K, so we're only 500 away. So y'all go check me out as well.
Nice, dude. Your account's been popping, Cozmik. Good stuff, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. That'll do it. I think, Christian.
Yeah, Cody, you want to
think
say
that'll do it.
any last words?
Actually, I got one question for these guys. So, Hall of Nerds, you mentioned it's on YouTube. Is it also you guys on like podcast, like audio at all, or?
At the moment, no.
We're working to get it on
Gotcha.
Spotify.
One day.
We get questions daily. Like, is it on Spotify?
Ping us. Yeah, ping us after if you guys need it. It's if you use like the Spotify podcasters, whatever, it makes it pretty easy.
Yeah,
so
it's-
if you guys have questions, just let us know. We do one on Spotify as well. So
Sweet.
yeah,
Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll say my piece as always.
yeah, dude.
Thank you guys for listening, watching, hearing about the podcast. If someone told you about it, thank you. It's always fun to get together with Cody every 2 weeks or every time we get a chance to talk, because we don't talk outside of this show. We're not friends in real life.
It's all for the camera. That's true.
No, yeah. I mean, go check out these guys. Incredible, honestly. It was an undertaking to have 2 guests because we had never done it. But honestly, and I mean this when Cody said it, I was like, that makes total sense. I cannot imagine another guest we should have next. And
yeah. So I mean, just hats off to you guys. I just want to give you guys your flowers because you guys been grinding on TikTok like we said, and then Hall of Nerds has been popping off. So definitely make sure you guys check them out. Check out that giveaway too. Sounds pretty cool. Who's funding that? Is that all Cozmik's?
We all
we
split
split
it.
it.
Four ways on
nice.
it. Actually, Amazon was having like a sale on like Omnis and all kinds. So we went 4 ways. Just got a bunch of good stuff. And
nice, dude. Yeah, right on. So yeah, check out the Cozmik Collector. Check out SpeedSultan. Check out Hall of Nerds. Thank you guys for listening and watching episode 30 of Color Break. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for having us.